In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to create this fantastic organizational chart from your Lextree data by importing that data from Lextree into Lexchart, where you have complete control over the design and layout of your legal entity organization chart. To begin, we're going to log into Lextree and come to Reports, Parents and Subsidiaries. This report will give you a complete list of all of your parent and subsidiary relationships and some data about those relationships. So this left-hand column, the parent, will give you the parent entity, and this column will give you the subsidiaries. Keep in mind that what we need is an inventory of each parent and subsidiary relationship. Don't worry about grandparents, don't worry about grandchildren, don't worry about affiliates. In this example, Helen Client owns Lemonade Software, Abe Client owns Lemonade Software, and Angel Investor Co. owns Lemonade Software. But down here, Southern Retail Group has 3 subsidiaries because it occurs 3 times. So don't worry about those duplicates, but we just need that pairwise relationship between a parent and a subsidiary. Here we have the percent of ownership from Lextree. And again, it doesn't have to be a round number. They can be decimals. So whatever the value is in your Lextree application will be displayed here. We have the acquisition date of that investment. And then we have the parent jurisdiction. That's the jurisdiction of incorporation for the parent entity, the parent form of organization, the legal entity type for the parent if it exists, and the subsidiary jurisdiction for these subsidiaries and the forms of organization for those subsidiaries. And we're going to use all of that data to create an organizational chart in Lexchart. So we just want to export. We'll choose a comma delimited or CSV file. We will come to Lexchart. After we've logged into Lexchart, you'll be on the main charts page. And if it's your first chart, this will be blank, but give you instructions about what to do. We want to import that data we just exported. So we'll choose Import. And then we want to choose the file. And we will grab this subsidiary list CSV file and upload. Now Lexchart is going to ask us where do we want to place this data that we just exported. Here we want to choose we're going to map it so that parent column goes to this parent because these are the parent entities we just exported. And then we're going to choose the child column is going to be the subsidiary column that we listed here. We will have the percentages. Now, this is not data about the parent. It's not data about the child. It is link data. It is about the connection between Helen Client and Lemonade Software, for example. So this is the percentage ownership between this parent and this subsidiary. We're going to ignore the acquisition date and the disposition date, but we could assign those to the link data as well if we chose to. And then we have the parent jurisdiction. So we definitely want that data inside the box for on our chart. And so we're going to say this is parent data. It is data about the parent. So we'll choose parent data. Now I don't want the label to be parent jurisdiction. I just want jurisdiction. So I'll delete parent and now it'll just be jurisdiction. Same with form of organization. That's parent data. And I don't actually like this entire label. I'm just going to delete all of that and just say type. After that, we have the subsidiary jurisdiction. That is child data or data about this column here. And so we just want jurisdiction there as well. Finally, we have child data, the subsidiary form of organization. And again, we just want that to be type. And so now we've mapped all of these columns. Some of them we're ignoring. Others are relate to the link, others to the parent or subsidiary or child in the relationship. And we're going to import that data. And Lexchart has built the chart for us automatically. Now, like Lextree, the canvas is infinite. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can drag the chart around. You can zoom in on a particular area if you want. And we'll see right away that there's some cleanup that we want to do. For example, you may not like the curved lines. You just switch to elbow connector, and now you have traditional elbow lines as well. The names are wrapping because some of the names are long, but you can turn that off. Also, the labels and data inside the card are left justified, and you may want a little different presentation. So we're going to select all cards, And then what we're going to do is edit. And Lexchart will give us an opportunity to change the design, not the data because we've got more than one card selected, but we want that data part to be right justified. But we could make the label left or right justified. We can also make them appear vertically if we want, but we're just going to make them right justified. And so now if I zoom in on Fast Service Co., you'll see that we have jurisdiction and it's over here on the right, and that's true for all of our cards here as well. Let's give it a name. And now we have this chart that we can design however we need to. What we'll do is just do a little bit of formatting to give you a flavor of this, and we'll link to some additional tutorials on formatting a chart in Lexchart. But just to give you a flavor, we're going to select a couple of these, and I'm going to pick these 3 entities, and we will make them red and the text white, and we'll make that border red as well. And if I zoom out, you'll see that they really stand out. Now I could also format the links. So let's say, for example, I want to turn all of those to be dashed. I can do that. And it'll really stand out. If I switch to curved lines, you'll see the distinctions here really clearly. It's one of the benefits of a curved line is the overlap in the channel of the line is much less. And when there are lots of lines coming into an entity, that curved line can really help. We'll switch back to dotted lines. And we can also make these a certain color if we want. So we'll make these red as well. And now, what about the linked data? So the first thing you'll notice is that this percent number is appearing over the top of this line, and we'd like to move it a little bit. So we'll switch to manual mode. It's currently in auto mode, which is doing all the automatic hierarchical layout for us. But we're going to switch to manual mode, grab that percent, and just move it up a little bit. Or maybe we'll pull it down so it's clear that it's associated with this entity here. Now, we also want to change the look of these notes here. We call these linked notes, and we're going to make those red also, and we're going to make them bigger. And so they stand out a little bit better for us. So now we have a much different layout and look, and this section of the chart is really highlighted nicely. So there are many more options for format and layout of your chart, both dynamically and manually, and we'll include links to all of those options for you. But that is how easy it is to get data from Lextree into Lexchart.